Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Valorant by Riot Games. Just giving my take on it. This is going to be much more of a negative commentary. So if you don't like that, leave. Just go away. And you don't have to deal with it. If you want to hear what I have to say and you don't like it, go ahead, give the video a dislike. That's fine. Do whatever. And if you still want to argue with me more, you can leave a comment and I'll argue with you if that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, you can leave. I'm just letting you know so nobody says that they were not warned. It's going to be a negative video. I do not have very much positive to say about Valorant. I think it's a bad game. I'm just gonna get that out there so we get that clear. I think it's a horrible game. I think it's not pretty overrated. I think it's extremely overrated, overhyped, and it's gonna disappoint a lot of people very heavily. So here's the issue, right? Riot Games sets up this game as the CSGO killer, the Overwatch killer, the ultimate tactical shooter. There shall be no other game in the gaming market that is a tactical shooter that isn't named Valorant. Okay, well that's bold, especially very bold, by the devs who have basically been saying this. It's a lot to say, and I don't think it can live up to it at all. I mean, looking at this gameplay, and looking at the gameplay that honestly has been seen and played, and the reactions people have had to it, generally the reactions have been very, very good, pretty much across the board from all the people playing it, which just adds to the hype, which is extremely high, by the way. I don't think it's gonna be a CSGO killer like they want it to be, and here's why. I don't play Overwatch. I don't know much about Overwatch. I hate the game. Why do I hate the game? Because of the dumb abilities that just make the game extremely hard to understand and not rewarding to play. That's one of the big things about games that it kind of is not a design thing in some ways. It's kind of just like the nature of the game. Like League of Legends, like other MOBAs, like every MOBA basically. If you don't know how to play the game and you just try and watch it, for example, like some random person, or if I just want to watch League of Legends, I have no clue what's going on at all. I can't even begin to understand what's going on because it makes no sense just watching it. It's like random lights going off everywhere. Just the entire screen is just a mess. That's what it looks like to someone who doesn't know what's going on. That's what Overwatch looks like. The abilities make it like that. You don't know what's even going on if you try and watch it on a pro level to understand it. CSGO is probably like the most basic game to understand, but the hardest game to master. And that's because anybody can understand the objective of kill other team and plant bomb. Defuse bomb if you're on the other side. That is extremely simple. The graphics back that up. They're simple. Easy to understand. Clean cut. Everything makes sense. And it works. Valorant, opposite. It's like CSGO, and it's supposed to have the best parts of it. Instead, it has the worst. Because the visibility is supposed to be better. It's worse. Because of the crazy mess that goes on the screen. The abilities make everything way too hard to understand. The utility that is simple, yet endlessly complex in CSGO is complex yet endlessly simple in Valorant. Once you know how to do it, that's it. But it's not easy to know how to do it because there's so much random stuff going on in the game. That's the problem. And the other problem is how it's been set up by Riot Games. They set it up as this ultimate game. It comes out, and what's this? They say their anti-cheat will be uncrackable. It will be impossible to cheat on, according to Riot Games. That's actually what the devs said. Like, the devs literally said this game cannot have cheats. It's impossible. Our anti-cheat's too good. Within 24 hours, in a closed beta, there's already cheaters that aren't getting banned and blatantly cheating. You can look it up on YouTube. You can watch videos. It's everywhere. That is a massive, massive, massive problem if you're at Riot Games, because you advertise this as this game that you cannot cheat on. You cannot cheat on it, Yeah, it's impossible to cheat on. It's the perfect game, perfect anti-cheat. Immediately, there's cheats on it. And I'll go through this. I've cheated on like a ton of games, right? I'm gonna tell you in what order how easy it is to cheat on them. Hardest one to cheat on that I've done. Rainbow Six Siege. It has a good anti-cheat. Cheats are hard to find, and you get banned pretty quick. Next, Fortnite. It's actually, considering it's a free game, that's, I think, part of the reason why they make it so hard to find cheats and cheat on it, because you can make a new account, and they do a good job of banning you, and keeping you banned, even though it's free, because they IP bans and system bans. Next, I'll say Apex Legends. I've cheated on that game. It's pretty easy to find cheats for, not terribly difficult. But the anti-cheat is okay enough that they'll ban cheaters fairly quickly, I guess. I'd say it's very average as far as the game goes. Next, Minecraft PvP. It's not hard to find cheats for, and depending on what server you're on, you may never get banned. But most servers have a bit of an anti-cheat that will ban you eventually, so that is something. And then CSGO, literally so easy to cheat on, it's ridiculous. I mean, you just look up CSGO free cheat, within 2 minutes you can have a free cheat and never be detected by Valve. VAC will never ban you, pretty much. If you have a good cheat, VAC won't ban you. If you're careful in your comp and wingman games, Overwatch won't ban you either. If you guys aren't familiar with CSGO, not the game Overwatch, there's a system where players, they get a game demo, like the file of your game, they rewatch it, and then they basically vote to ban you, and then if enough people who are watching it in Overwatch do that, you get banned. So if you're cheating blatantly in Overwatch, the Overwatch case will ban you. So you have to be more careful if you're cheating in competitive or wingman, because those are the two with that enabled. Other than that, you're not getting banned on CSGO for the anti-cheat. So Valorant, I feel like because of the game engine that CSGO has those problems because it's so old. I feel like it's pretty much impossible for Valorant to be that bad, but it's still a bold remark to say it's impossible to cheat on, because that's really not true for any game, as we know. You can cheat on pretty much anything, and the cheaters are always going to be ahead of the anti-cheat, because as the new cheat is created, anti-cheat has to learn and be taught to keep up with it. So they're always a little bit behind, and depending on how good the anti-cheat is, they're either like impossibly far behind, as seen in Valve anti-cheat, which is so far behind the cheaters that it's ridiculous, or they're intrusive, so they are much more capable with their anti-cheat. With things like Rainbow Six Siege, the anti-cheat's very intrusive, and it often bans legit players. And that's an issue Valve has decided they don't want to have. They'd rather have more cheaters and nobody banned for being legit than like a ton of cheaters and like nobody, or I mean no cheaters and everybody having the chance of being legit banned. But the thing is, they took the first approach, and they did a bad job with it because there's a lot of cheaters. From their perspective, it's a bad job. I enjoy it because I like to cheat on the game, but the thing is, Valorant is gonna have cheats. People are gonna cheat on it, and Riot has to accept that and admit that, and then try and do their best about banning them. You can't claim that it's gonna be impossible to cheat on, because that's literally not a thing. That's not a thing in a game. That doesn't happen. They have to understand that. So I think the biggest issue with Valorant is just the approach taken by Riot and the devs, saying that it's going to be the best game on the market, the only game anybody needs to play. There'll be no cheats, nothing bad, everything will be perfect, right? And that's just not how it's going to be. Because when you take the best of the best, or the best from the best, and leave out the worst from the best, which is what they're claiming to do with their game, that's really subjective, honestly, and that's the problem. If I take the best aspects from CSGO and Overwatch and put them together, you get something that maybe both fan bases don't like. And honestly, I don't think a lot of committed CSGO players will like Valorant, Because if you're committed enough to play CS:GO a lot, that probably means you like the game a decent amount, which means you probably, in a lot of cases, do not like the type of theme that Valorant has going on. I think it's bad. I think it's not fun. I think it's stupid. Honestly, I think it's dumb. I think it's a really bad game. I think it's overhyped. I think it's overrated already, and it's barely even been released. And do I think it'll be successful? Yes. Do I think it'll be successful because it's a good game? Yes. Do I think it's going to be successful because it's the best game and only game on the market? No, that's impossible. And I don't think it's going to kill anything. It might take some. I say some because it's going to really be some. Not a lot. Not a tiny bit. Just some of CSGO's fan base. Some of Overwatch's remaining fan base because the game is pretty much dead. I'm kidding, but it will take some of Overwatch's fan base. Honestly, I think it's going to be a bad game from my point of view. I think it is a bad game. I think that it will be successful, but not because it's like another game necessarily. Because when you take the best, I think the lesson is when you take the best from different things and leave out the worst, you don't make an improvement to those other things. You make a new thing. They've made a new game, and that's important to remember. This is its own game. This is its own thing. Yeah, it's a lot like other games, but at the end of the day, it's its own thing. It's gonna be its own thing. It's gonna have a fan base, and it's probably gonna still be a bad game regardless. That's my take on it. If you don't like this video, dislike it. If you like it, like it. Comment so I can argue with you if you want that. Thanks for watching, and I guess we'll just see how Valorant goes. I think it's gonna be bad.